The forest holds its breath. For a heartbeat, there's only the creak of wood, the distant crackle of a cooking fire, and the faint, ugly laughter of goblins who do not yet know they are about to die. The outpost sits behind its crude palisade, unguarded gaps, careless sentries, weapons held more out of habit than readiness. Then the stillness shatters. Kale bursts from the tree line with a roar, boots pounding the dirt as his scimitar arcs in a flash of steel. The blade bites deep into the first goblin's side, the impact driving it back against the wooden palisade with a shriek, blood dark and sudden against the logs. Kale follows through instinctively, his hand axe swinging for the kill, but it glances wide, sparks leaping as iron bites wood instead of flesh. Across the outpost, Orin moves like a shadow unbound. He slips through the southern gap, katana sweeping toward the nearest guard in a clean, decisive strike, but the goblin ducks low at the last instant, the blade hissing through empty air. From the western flank, Hazel steps forward, heart hammering. She raises a hand as bright motes of sorcerous fire gather between her fingers, the forest wind tugging at her hair as she releases the spell. And the flame gutters out before it reaches its mark, fading into ash and smoke. For half a second, the camp is stunned. Then the counterstrike comes. The goblin wounded by Kale snarls, swinging wildly. Its hand axe slams into his shoulder, pain flaring hot as Kale grits his teeth and staggers a step back. Another goblin nearby, shortbow clutched tight, turns to flee.
Not happening!
Kale growls. He pivots sharply, scimitar flashing in a brutal backswing that cuts the archer down mid-step. The creature collapses soundlessly into the dirt. At the southern gate, Steel sings again. Orin sidesteps as a goblin's blade whistles past his ribs, the movement so fluid it looks practiced, rehearsed. Behind it, an archer fumbles with an arrow, hands shaking. Orin does not give it time. His katana snaps upward in a single, precise motion, cutting clean through the goblin's chest. The body drops with a dull thud, bow slipping from limp fingers. A sharp whistle cuts through the chaos. From the center of the camp, a goblin raises a crude bow and looses an arrow toward Kale. The shaft slices through the air, passing inches from his arm before thudding harmlessly into a tree trunk behind him. Simone, crouched low behind a log, exhales once. Steady. She draws and releases in one smooth motion, her arrow streaks through the smoke. But the goblin beside Orin ducks at the last second, the shaft burying itself deep in the bark behind it. The clearing erupts with sound, steel on bone, snarling voices, boots tearing up dirt, the hiss of dying embers still hanging in the air. Blood stains the ground on both sides, but the fight is far from decided. Kale steadies his breath, the ache in his shoulder pulsing with every movement, but he doesn't hesitate. With a low growl, he surges forward, scimitar carving a clean silver arc through the morning light. The goblin before him barely has time to shriek before the blade cuts through with brutal precision, dropping the creature where it stands. Kale lifts his gaze just in time to catch movement near the campfire, a goblin with a short bow fumbling frantically to notch another arrow.
Hazel! There!
He shouts, pointing with his blade. Hazel's eyes flash gold as she sprints into the clearing, boots kicking up dirt. She plants her feet and raises a hand, raw sorceress power igniting at her fingertips, chromatic fire swirling, crackling, screaming to be unleashed. The light swells, and detonates forward. The bolt slams into the goblin's chest with a concussive whump, spiraling flames engulfing it in an instant. Its scream rips through the clearing, one desperate cry of, "Boss!" before it's reduced to smoking ash. The air fills with the stench of scorched leather and sharp ozone. Hazel straightens, tail lashing behind her, and throws her head back with a triumphant howl.
Ow! I want the dark meat!
Kale freezes mid-step. He scratches awkwardly at the back of his neck, offering a crooked grin.
Right. Noted.
Across the camp, Orin flows forward like water-given steel. His katana flashes once, clean, silent. The goblin in his path falls apart mid-motion, dropping as Orin strides through drifting embers without slowing. Simone moves at his back, bow raised, eyes sharp, covering the field as the clearing falls briefly, unnaturally, still. Then the ground seems to vibrate. A low, guttural rumble rolls out from the shack at the center of the camp. The wooden door explodes outward in a spray of splinters. Standing in the threshold is a massive orc, skin the color of storm clouds, muscles knotted with power. A pulsating violet crystal is embedded in its chest. Veins of sickly light crawling up its neck and arms, its eyes burn with something far beyond rage. With a thunderous roar, it rips a nearby barrel from the ground and hurls it towards Orin. The swordsman reacts on instinct, blade flashing. The barrel splits in midair, bursting apart, but shards of wood still slam into him, forcing him back a step with a sharp grunt of pain. Simone yelps as debris scatters past her boots, leaping sideways with a squeal before catching herself, eyes wide. The orc stomps forward through the rising smoke, each step heavy, deliberate. The crystal in its chest throbs brighter with every heartbeat, a slow, ominous rhythm that hums faintly in the bones of anyone daring to stand against it. Kale lets out a roar that rolls through the clearing like thunder, eyes blazing as the storm within him finally breaks free. His muscles coil, breath sharp and furious, and with that fury, he charges up the hill toward the looming orc. The creature's violet crystal heart pulses brighter, bathing the shattered camp in warped light as Kale closes the distance. He swings his scimitar in a savage arc. But the orc meets him head-on, great axe snapping up to intercept the blow. Steel crashes against steel with a sound like a hammer striking an anvil. Sparks burst between them as Kale's blade is wrenched wide. Before the orc can counter, Hazel darts from the tree line, her hand igniting in a whirl of radiant embers. She thrusts her palm forward, hurling a blazing sorceress burst through the air. And it veers wide, detonating harmlessly against the side of the shack in a violent spray of cinders. Orin, still aching from the barrel's impact, draws in a steadying breath and uncorks his potion. The crimson liquid glows faintly as he drains it in a single motion, warmth flooding his limbs, color already returning to his face as he moves. In a blink, he's at Kale's side. His katana slips free in a fluid practice draw, catching the light like a ribbon of silver. The blade bites into the orc's flank with precise force, carving through flesh and muscle. The creature staggers with a furious growl, violet veins flaring brighter beneath its skin. Simone steps up beside them, bowstring pulled taut. She looses, the arrow whistles through smoke and sparks, sinking deep into the orc's shoulder. The beast bellows, rearing back, eye snapping wide and wild, then it spins. With a deafening howl, the orc swings its great axe in a brutal, sweeping arc. Kale braces, but the impact is crushing. The blade slams into his side, hurling him backward several paces. Blood sprays into the dirt as he barely keeps his footing. Orin snaps his katana up just in time to catch part of the wild follow-through. The shock jolts up his arm, but even the deflection isn't enough. The axe's edge bites into his shoulder, slicing through his coat and leaving a dark crimson streak. The corrupted orc plants its feet, chest heaving. The crystal embedded in its flesh now glows like molten amethyst, throbbing with power. Its hum fills the clearing, low, resonant, wrong. A vibration that rattles teeth and seeps into bone. Kale staggers, breath ragged. Hazel's magic surges again at her fingertips. Simone is already knocking another arrow, and Orin steps back into stance, calm, centered, blood dripping from his arm as the monster looms before them. The battle rages on. Steel crashing, boots tearing through dirt, the iron-thick scent of blood clinging to the air. And then Hazel smells something else. Sharp, acrid, wrong. She freezes for half a heartbeat, nostrils flaring as the wind shifts through the clearing. Beneath smoke and pine sap, beneath sweat and burning embers, it hits her. That same metallic tang she'd caught earlier at the northern gate. The faint crystalline undertone that had clung to Viscount Calor. But this is stronger. Purer. The scent slices through everything else like ozone and burnt glass, carrying a static pulse that prickles along her skin, making her fur bristle despite herself. The orc's gem heart doesn't just glow, it bleeds its presence into the air, a resonance that hums against her senses like something alive. Her thoughts snap backward. Calor, standing tall in the pale gate light, the subtle hum beneath his cloak, that strange, crystalline fragrance she couldn't name at the time. It hadn't been perfume, it hadn't been enchantment, it had been echo energy. The realization locks into place with chilling certainty. The corruption pulsing visibly in the orc's chest is the same power Calor wields, only here it's raw, unrestrained, violently unstable. Hazel's pupils narrow, a low growl slipping from her throat before she can stop it. Every instinct screams warning. The crystal isn't just dangerous, it's toxic. As the orc bellows again, violet light flaring through its veins, Hazel can smell the corruption spreading through it like fire beneath the skin. And the faint, unmistakable echo of that same corruption clinging to the man who sent them here. The corrupted orc bellows, the hum of the crystal in its chest surging to a fever pitch, a deep, vibrating resonance that warps the air around it. The clearing trembles beneath the sound. But the four wayfarers hold their ground, bruised, bloodied, unbroken. Kale wipes blood from his lip, the storm still raging behind his eyes. With a furious roar, he charges, both weapons raised. His scimitar strikes first, a savage diagonal slash that bites deep into the orc's side. Without pause, his hand axe follows, the second blow landing with bone-shattering force. The creature staggers as violet energy spills from its wounds like liquid light. Orin is there before it can recover. His stance shifts, perfectly balanced, impossibly calm. In a single, deliberate motion, his katana flashes in a flawless horizontal cut. Clean, elegant, final. The orc's arm is severed in a spray of dark blood and shattered crystal light, spinning away before hitting the dirt. The creature howls, fury and agony twisting its roar. Its remaining fist clenches, muscles knotting as it draws back, ready to bring the blow down with enough force to crush stone. Before it can strike, Simone's bowstring sings. The arrow slices through the smoke, straight and true, gleaming silver as it streaks toward the orc's chest. In the same heartbeat, Hazel raises her hand. Her eyes flare gold as fire surges outward, meeting the arrow mid-flight. The sorceress burst detonates against the shaft with perfect timing. The arrow becomes a comet. It slams into the orc's chest, punching straight through the crystal. For a breath, the gemstone's light flickers, wild, unstable, and then it explodes. A thunderous burst of searing flame and fractured amethyst shards tears outward. The orc's roar collapses into a choked gasp as its massive frame stumbles back, violet light draining rapidly from its veins. Then it falls. The impact shakes the ground. Silence follows. The purple glow fades, flesh and bone begin to crumble, flaking away like ash caught in the wind. In moments, nothing remains of the creature but drifting dust and a large gemstone resting where its heart once beat, pulsing faintly in the dirt. The battlefield lies still. Only the crackle of dying embers and the low, unsettling hum of the crystal break the quiet. Their first true battle as wayfarers ends not with shouted triumph, but with the steady rhythm of their breathing standing amid the ashes of corruption.
At the edge of nowhere, shadows twist where the brave press on. Old cathedrals hide secrets they can't share, but we charge through the dark till the fear is gone. Light it up, we're the ones who keep on rising. Turn a frightened village into songs we sing, chasing sparks across the dark horizon. Every wild misstep gives our courage wings. from the shadows to the shadows.